This has been bubbling away in the background. It's starting to concern me a bit, this debate about high visibility vests. The state government's introducing high visibility, the bright coloured vest for learner cyclists, learner motorcyclists. And the Victorian Motorcycle Council, amongst others, is fighting it, is against it. On the line, the Secretary of the Victorian Motorcycle Council, Jeremy Walton. Good morning.
Good morning, Neil. How are you?
Okay, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with having learners in bright coloured vests so we see them?
Look, I think, Neil, we have two fundamental issues with this. One is that, once again, VicRoads has chose to cherry-pick pieces of information out of international research that seem to suit their purpose and leave out the bits of that same research that say, in fact, high-visibility vests don't make a significant difference. The second issue we've got is that we're very worried that new learner riders may have a false sense of security after VicRoads has told them to wear a high visibility vest will mean that you're seen, and then won't practice or develop their proper roadcraft.
Oh, but surely part of learning and riding is to practice that roadcraft, to give... See, I can't quite understand. If the visibility vest gives any advantage whatsoever, it has to be good for somebody who's not used to riding alone on the road.
And Neil, on face value, that would appear to be a common sense statement. The problem is that most of the research says that, in fact, in different situations, high visibility vests won't catch a driver's attention. And in fact, in some cases, you're much better off being all in black.
So when are they not effective?
Well, certainly in rural roads, in bright sunshine, if you're driving into the sun, they are all places where a high visibility vest doesn't. What we're more worried about is the real factors that the research points to, which indicate that cognitive blindness and target fixation blindness mean that car drivers...
What does that mean?
Basically, it's the phenomenon where you see but fail to look. And I think probably the most common example of this that's been, I guess most people would know of, is there's the famous YouTube clip from the Smithsonian that shows some people passing a basketball to each other, and a gorilla walks in. But they're so busy concentrating on counting the amount of times that the ball was bounced, they completely fail to see the gorilla.
But
that's the issue we have with motorcyclists and cars, Neil.
Okay,
they fail to look.
But I understand that. But if I'm driving into an intersection on a normal day like today, not looking into the sun or anything, am I or am I not going to notice more readily a person in a high visibility vest?
All the international research says you're not any more likely to see it, because you won't be looking for it. You'll be looking at other things in the intersection. I find that
really impossible to understand. I mean, I can understand in certain lights and things, but on your average day, normal day, no sun shining on the person or behind you or something, no sun in your eyes, I can't understand why a bright fluorescent vest doesn't stand out compared to a black leather jacket. I mean, why do roadside workers wear it? Why do they wear them on the roadside workers?
Look, that's a question you'd have to ask them, but they're not moving at the same pace that we are, or potentially the interaction speed. So it's absolutely not the vest that we need to see. It's the fact that they need to be looking for motorcycles.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. People have got to look more and be aware and not be falling for the gorilla trick. I agree entirely with that. But we want to help people look more and help people be more aware. If it's not a high visibility vest, you got any other ideas?
Absolutely, better driver training, Neil.
Let's do that as well, but let's do everything we can.
And that would be lovely if that was anywhere on the table by anybody, and it's certainly something that we've been asking for a very long time.
Well, we don't train car drivers properly, you're quite right. Okay, yes. Well, let's take that as a given. What else? What would you do with clothing? Anything?
Look, I think clothing's a matter for each individual rider. I mean, the majority of riders wear appropriate clothing for the conditions.
Okay. I do see riders, even fully licensed riders, getting around with jackets that have big crosses on the back and things like that, high visibility crosses. Why do they do it?
Look, I think they think in their mind that it might make some advantage for them. But I think what we're sort of concerned about is, why is VicRoads not researching this properly? I mean, we have in Australia a large fleet of postal riders all done up in fluoro. But if you actually go and talk to any of those, they'll tell you it's made absolutely no difference.
Well,
the incidents that they have.
If it hasn't made any difference, has it actually done any harm?
No, I wouldn't have thought so, no, Neil.
Yeah. So if it doesn't do any harm, is it not worth a go?
Well, I think potentially, but why do that? I mean, if you were going to be fair dinkum about all of this, so in theory now, you can be a learner rider, ride in a pair of shorts and a pair of thongs and a high-vis vest, and that would be fine.
Yeah, good point.
Obviously, nobody's going to recommend that, are they?
Good point. Very good point. Okay, thanks for talking to us. Victorian Motorcycle Council Secretary Jeremy Walton. John, what do you think?
As a motorcycle rider, Neil, high-vis vests should only ever be voluntary, never compulsory.
Why?
A rider needs to know when it's going to work and when it won't work. And the worst time to try and... The worst thing you can do is make a learner wear a vest and then expect them to know when it's going to work and when it's not going to work. And then expect...
I don't get that. I don't get that. I take the point that Jeremy's making.
You don't take the point, Neil.
I don't.
He mentioned the false sense of security. Okay, if it's voluntary, look, I'm not against wearing high vest. That should be a decision that's made by an individual rider, and they will wear a high-vis vest for their own reasons. But they will know when it's going to work and when it's not going to work. Okay. Jeremy's already explained to you when it won't work and when it may work. But the thing is, if you put it on a learner,
John,
you're putting them in a high-risk situation.
Jeremy has also said it is not going to do any damage. Now, if it's not going to do any damage...
Neil, that's got nothing to do with it, and you know that as well as I do.
Oh, rubbish, John. It's got everything to do with it. If it's not going to do any harm, why not give it a go?
Well, it's because it's not going to work. It's going to put learner riders at risk.
Do you agree with Jeremy that he's not going to do any harm?
Neil, that's not the point. The point is
that
if you...
John, it is the point. It's a very big part of the point.
No, it's not the point.
Why do I always end up fighting with motorcyclists?
Because you want to fight with us, Neil, and you are on this particular point. I believe you are wrong, and Terry Mulder has had a thought bubble because he thinks this will work and it won't.
Righto. Thanks, John. Thank you very much. You know exactly what's in my head. 18 minutes past 10. Jeremy Walton, unlike John, was being, I think, quite reasonable and logical about it, even though he opposes it for similar reasons. Would you get a false sense of security riding around? I mean, it's like there's a P-plater, a red P-plater, get a false sense of security because everybody identifies them as likely to be driving like an idiot. I agree with teaching car drivers better awareness of motorcyclists, for heaven's sake. But if it's not going to do any harm to have a vest, why not? And I don't know, drivers, motorcyclists who wear vests, if you wear the high-vis vest, do they make any difference to you? And car drivers, if you see a motorcyclist, what makes them stand out? Got a tweet here from Brent. I'm an AMBO, wear a fluoro vest. It keeps me safe, makes me visible. Police seem to have the same view. Dean, hello.
Hey, g'day, Neil. How you going?
Okay.
Mate, just while you were talking to that bloke just before with the fluoro vest, I was pretty passionate about not putting them on. But as you're actually talking to me, I was on the Maroondah Highway, 4 lanes of traffic. I'm in a tip truck. These 4 postie blokes, he's in front of me, and he's surrounded by trucks. And I can tell you right now, he had a flag on him as well.
Yeah.
The best thing he could have done was in between all those trucks was wearing the vest.
Yeah, it's a good point, Dean, and I'd welcome anybody who wears a fluoro vest as part of their job, whether they're riding as a postie, as Dean's talking about, or whether you're a police officer or an AMBO or a roadside worker, or even the lollipop people wear them, don't they? Admittedly, they're not all travelling at the speed of a motorcyclist. Carl, hello.
Yeah, g'day, Neil. Look, I'm a motorbike rider and also a truck driver, so I spend a lot of time on the road, and from what I've noticed, I think a great percentage of the accidents are caused by the way a motorcycle's ridden rather than the apparel they're wearing. I mean, safety gear's got to be paramount, and that's what they should push, appropriate safety gear. I've seen people wearing shorts, T-shirts, thongs, and I honestly believe that more education and should be harder to get a licence than anything else.
I think, look, I'm sure there's, and Jeremy said the same thing, but does that mean you don't go with the vests or you go with all these other things plus the vests?
Well, look, I'd personally go with the education first, because I think when you see a guy like I did yesterday in Carrum Downs on the back wheel flying through an intersection, it wouldn't matter what that guy was wearing. He was a statistic waiting to happen.
He's an idiot. You're right, Carl. Joe, hello.
Yeah, I'm basically the same. Vests are not that much important to me. It's clothing. I'm a bike rider, and you see these, I call them wallies, with shorts, long singlets. Should be compulsory. If the government brought in, you've got to wear a helmet, you've got to be fully clothed. That's what I say. If they want to do safety, put a beacon on top of your helmet.
Righto, thanks. Beacon on top of your helmet. I think it might be getting a bit confusing. You'd think it was an ambulance or a fire brigade, a police car coming for you. Thanks, Joe. Richard, hello.
Hi, Neil. I just want to add weight to it as well in favour of safety vests and that, by the fact that I see postmen on their bikes in high visibility all the time, and so it speaks volumes, I think, and I just think that it gives that rider another opportunity to be safe. I think it's something that should definitely be considered.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen for learner riders at the moment. I agree with everybody who says anybody who's riding a motorcycle should be dressed properly, not in thongs and shorts. There have been plenty of campaigns to try and make that happen. I agree with everybody who says car drivers should be alert to motorcyclists and need a bit more education in how to be alert to motorcyclists. But I keep coming down to the point that Jeremy accepted, which is there really any downside to the vests? Other than this possibility that motorcyclists learning might get this sense of security, is there any danger to them? Is there any real... Are they going to do any harm? Going to do any real... And if they're not going to do any real harm, isn't it sensible to give them a try? Anyway, the campaign has got a long way to go yet. Long way to go. So